And just before we go, let's do a quick recap of the top trending stories from the courtrooms.
We begin with the report that the Supreme Court has removed Ali Modu Sheriff as the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party. A five-man panel of the Apex Court reinstated Ahmed McCarthy, who was earlier sacked by the Port Harcourt Division of the Court of Appeal as the National Caretaker Committee. Justice Buddy Rhodes-Viver, who read the lead judgment, held that contrary to the majority judgment of the Port Harcourt Division of the Court of Appeal, the suit filed by McCarthy faction before the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt was not an abuse of court. The Apex Court also held that the National Convention of the PDP, held on May 21, 2016, rightly and constitutionally removed Sheriff. It held that the convention acted rightly and not in breach of any aspect of the PDP's constitution by setting up the McCarthy-led National Caretaker Committee. The judgment of the Apex Court was unanimous. Still in Abuja, a Federal High Court has adjourned to October 17 the trial of Nnamdi Kanu, the self-styled leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. No reason was given for the adjournment, but it may not be unconnected with the fact that the Federal High Court has begun its annual vacation. Nnamdi Kanu is being tried alongside 3 others for alleged treasonable offences. The court, presided over by Justice Binta Nyako, had in April granted Mr. Kanu bail with 12 conditions attached. Among the conditions was a requirement for Kanu to avoid being seen in any crowd of more than 10 people. Kanu's lawyer had told journalists after the court sitting on April 25th that his client will seek a variation on the bail conditions, but it's not clear if that has been done. In Osun State, the former acting vice-chancellor of the Obafemi Awolowo University, Professor Anthony Elujoba, was on Friday granted bail on self-recognition by Justice David Oladimeji of the State High Court. His co-defendant, Mrs. Aderonke Akeredolu, was also granted bail in the sum of 50 million naira and 2 sureties. They are both standing trial for alleged stealing made against them by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. At the last sitting of the court, the decision of Justice David Oladimeji to remand Professor Elujoba in prison sparked a series of protests from workers and students of the university. Following the refusal of angry workers and students of the university to leave the court premises, despite the heavy presence of policemen, his counsel, Ibrahim Lawal, later announced to the crowd that the judge had reversed his ruling and ordered the remand of the defendants in the EFCC's custody. In Lagos, proceedings were stalled in the appeal filed by the wife of former President Goodluck Jonathan, Patience, seeking to stop the forfeiture of her $5.7 million and 2.4 billion naira to the federal government. Justice John Ike, who presided over the appeal alongside Justice Abimbola Obaseki Adejumo and Abraham Georgewell, said that one of the judges on the panel has asked to be recused from hearing the appeal for personal reasons. He did not say which of the justices was withdrawing, but he added that the panel was incomplete as the remaining 2 members could not form a quorum. Counsel to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Rotimi Oyedepo, urged the court to consider hearing the appeal as early as possible, preferably during the annual court vacation. Justice Ike, however, noted that this request could not be granted since the panel had not formed a quorum. The suit was then adjourned till September 18. And we round off with the report that the EFCC has arraigned Justice James Agbadu Fishim of the National Industrial Court before a Lagos High Court sitting in Ikeja over allegations of corruption. Justice Fishim pleaded not guilty to the 19 counts charge of bribery and corrupt enrichment. On July 1, the Anti-Graft Agency filed a criminal charge against him over allegations of unlawful enrichment to the tune of 4.8 million naira. Justice Fishim was named as one of the judges alleged to have been bribed by senior advocates of Nigeria in order to pervert the course of justice. He was one of the judges recently recalled from suspension by the National Judicial Council.
And that's the program this week. You can watch it again on our YouTube channel. Kindly give us feedback via any of our social media handles. I'm Shola Shayeli. Thank you for watching.